Hi, my name is Victoria Gazzoni. In this video, I'll discuss when AI should be used in customer-facing settings, what we learn from AI successes and failures, how companies handled failures, and what this means for brand management. For success cases in the study, Orange, IKEA, and Nike show that AI works best when it strengthens the value customers already care about. That includes functional values, emotional value, and relationship value. AI is most useful when it reduces uncertainty and effort for customers. People often struggle to evaluate options because information is complex or incomplete. AI adds value when it helps clarify decisions rather than making them for customers. IKEA's use of AI to help people visualize products in their homes is a good example. It doesn't replace taste or preference, it just helps customers feel more confident about their choice. AI also works best when it reinforces what the brand already stands for emotionally. Brands don't just solve problems, they help people express identity and connect to meaning. Orange used AI to highlight bias in women's sport, reinforcing its commitment to inclusion. Nike used AI to translate athlete identity into creative output, enabling self-expression. In both cases, AI didn't invent meaning, it amplified meaning that was already there. These examples also show the importance of personalization. Customers differ in what they value and how they can make decisions, and AI can support that without forcing standardization. And finally, the stakes of error were low. These were forgiving contexts where mistakes wouldn't seriously damage trust. Overall, AI worked because it extended rather than replaced what each brand already represented. Failures happened when AI interfered with trust, identity, or well-being. High-stakes contexts like finance, health, and legal services magnified error. Identity-related uses also backfired because AI distorted meaning and authenticity. The strongest backlash occurred when AI replaced human care for vulnerable users, and in some cases, weak oversight led to public embarrassment even when harm was low. However, we must mention that not all AI failures in the case were equally serious. How serious they felt depended on what was at stake for the customer. Some failures were low concern. These happened in low-stakes transactional settings and were more embarrassing than harmful, like Instacart, Chevrolet, or McDonald's. Other failures were more serious because they affected authenticity and trust, especially around identity and honesty. This includes cases like Levi's, Wizards of the Coast, and Google Gemini. The most serious failures happened in emotionally vulnerable or high-trust contexts involving health, mental well-being, or financial consequences, like NIDA, Coco, Air Canada, and TurboTax. In these cases, AI didn't just fail technically, it violated customer trust. The key takeaway is that AI failures become outrageous when automation replaces care, judgment, or responsibility. Overall, most companies focused on fixing the technology rather than repairing a relationship. Brand damage depended less on the mistake itself and more how responsibility, transparency, and empathy were handled. What worked poorly was deflecting responsibility by blaming the AI, being defensive, or focusing on intent rather than impact. What worked better were swift correction actions. Companies like Lego and McDonald's paused or shut down problematic AI systems quickly, which limited further exposure and showed learning rather than experimentation. Customers judged these responses emotionally, not technically. Could they have responded better? Yes, and the difference would have been focusing on the customer experience rather than the system failure. Treating AI output as brand behavior, acknowledging emotional or financial impact, communicating transparency, and reinforcing that human judgment still matters would have helped minimize damage. The key takeaway here is that customers are more forgiving of mistakes than of the lack of empathy or ownership. AI failures are best prevented by designing for relationships rather than efficiency alone. Companies need to match AI use to context sensitivity, avoid automation where empathy or safety are essential, and keep humans involved in high-impact decisions. Clear boundaries about what AI can and cannot do are crucial. Testing should go beyond accuracy to include social and emotional risk. And most importantly, AI should align with the role of a brand already plays in customer lives. When AI fails, customers don't see a technical issue, they see brand behavior. Companies need to remain clearly accountable and focus on how the experience affected customers. Trust is rebuilt through presence, attentiveness, and responsibility. Reassuring customers that people are still in charge and clearly explaining where AI will and will not be used helps restore confidence. The goal isn't perfection, it's confidence in the relationship. Overall, automation shapes brand experience, not just efficiency. AI helps brands when it supports people and hurts them when it replaces care. The main risk isn't technical failure, it's loss of trust. AI ultimately amplifies whatever the brand already is.